United Theatre opened its doors as a Vaudeville Theatre on January 18, 1926. An opening night gala featured 5 acts of Paramount vaudeville and the first film ever to play at the United. The United Theatre was one of a handful of vaudeville theaters and cinemas in the Westerly area, and the United saw its share of big-name performers, from world-renowned opera stars to well-known vaudeville troupes like the Will Maston Trio, featuring one Sammy Davis Jr. In 1929, the United was the first theater in the region to showcase talking pictures. As silent cinema began to fade, the theater would eventually transition into a full-time movie theater, showcasing the biggest and best first-run cinematic features. For generations of families in the region, the United Theatre was the go-to destination for film. Sadly, in 1986, the United closed its doors and the theater faded into disuse. 2 decades later, on February 3, 2006, the Westerly Land Trust purchased the theater as part of its urban program for the redevelopment of historic commercial properties in the Westerly downtown. But it was the summer of 2014 when the United took the first step in its rebirth, hosting live events for the first time in more than 3 decades, including a pair of events celebrating the theater's rich vaudeville history. That same year, Rhode Island voters approved the State Creative and Cultural Economy Bond, providing support for arts-related renovation projects, including the United Theatre. In 2015, the United was officially approved as a new nonprofit organization, and the adjacent building, a former Montgomery Ward department store, was added to the plans, more than doubling the space and scope of the project. Over the next 4 years, the United Theatre would host multiple events and arts education programs in the theater and throughout the surrounding community. In May of 2019, the United Theatre officially broke ground and began construction. And that brings us to today. Construction forges ahead. The United Theatre's history is just getting started.